Day went with two guys that I was in a. So I didn't play in the league last year for fantasy. I just went to one league, which is our main league. Mm-hmm. But through work, we have a league, and they always use it through Yahoo. Which I think Yahoo is hands down.
Yeah. This is some fantasy. Are we doing some fantasy talk?
I think just for a second, I think it's the worst platform. The only reason I was going to bring it up was I was like, oh, I wonder how that would affect picking these guys, changing certain positions, how it would affect if we use defensive players or whatever players throughout the year, like a running back in fantasy. If they go to a wide receiver, you're kind of, and then it got me thinking that I was arguing with them about because it's a 2 quarterback league.
Oh my God! Get the fuck out of here!
And they were
just quit. You don't even have to argue with those guys. Okay, can I just go on a little bit of a rant?
Well, hang on. Let me just finish what I was
saying.
I want to hear it.
Let me rant. Let me just quickly rant
here. Go.
You already got me going. Yeah. 2 quarterback leagues is the worst thing in fantasy football. The whole point of fantasy football is you're emulating an NFL team, right?
That's exactly what I said to them.
You have a quarterback, you have a running back, you have receivers, you have a tight end, you have a defense. What fucking NFL team or like two quarterbacks just makes zero sense. It's fantasy football for an NFL team. You're making a fantasy NFL team.
They combated back to me and said, "Well, there's 2 running backs.
They're wrong.
There's 2 running backs. So there's not 2 running backs on the field when
yes,
you're
there
playing,
is.
or you're not getting the amount of points by having." Anyways, what I was arguing with them about
their argument's weak.
For sure.
Yeah, terrible.
For sure. But they said to me, and this is what I wanted. They said most leagues out there right now in fantasy football are 2 quarterback leagues.
Doesn't mean it's the way to go. It's all people want is more points, right?
Yeah.
Where are they pulling those stats?
Well,
I don't know.
Does it matter if most are? Because we play the NFL one, and that's like the one, right?
I know. Well, I think it goes ESPN, Yahoo, or ESPN, NFL, then Yahoo.
ESPN are a bunch of Yahoos.
Yeah.
I have a question for you, Ad.
Yeah.
Where'd you find these Yahoos?
The only time I would want a 2 quarterback league would be in like a 6-person league where it's like it's just about trying to get 500 points.
You guys totally
destroyed
my story. So I'm arguing with them about this, and then I said, well, why don't at least play defensive players? And then they started razzing me about how stupid being able to pick
crispy.
It sounds like you're about to rip that can apart when you do that. Holy shit.
He's just so mad about these 2 quarterbacks.
Well, then they were saying to me that it's so the defensive leagues are stupid. Like that's so stupid to have.
Oh yeah, the defensive leagues are stupid because they're emulating the NFL. Yeah, let's just throw fucking 18 tight ends on the team.
And then there's only one side to a football team.
Yeah, and then they told me that because when I was in the league the previous years, and I'd always bitch about the stat about the 2 quarterbacks and it being on Yahoo. They said that they changed it to a super flex. So in the super flex, you pick tight end, QB, wide receiver, or running back. So you can pick.
Everyone's going to take quarterback though because quarterbacks get the most points in fantasy. This is why it's stupid. People's arguments are usually that you do 2 QBs because what the fuck? 'Cause guys want to switch in to 2 QBs in my other league and they always argue and I always call them dumb for it. Because quarterbacks aren't valued as much as they should be, and in a 2 quarterback league, you actually get value for guys that are like
that's exactly what that's
15th to 30th.
That's one of the things that they said too. And then
but here I'll give you another stat. There's only 15 good quarterbacks in the NFL.
Well, and then
when you do a 12-man league with 1 quarterback, you get one of the fucking top 12.
That's kind of the risk you go to take. Is like, am I going to risk one of my top 3-4 picks on a better quarterback? Because it does pay out. It does pay out on average better, but you got to kind of play the game.
So it gives you the challenge that real NFL teams go. Do they want to build their team through a really great quarterback, or do they want to be a running back or running team?
That's something I never understood about drafting in the fantasy. Is that people are like, oh, you can't take a quarterback for the 5th round. Like, fuck, they get the most points.
I know.
Like,
yeah, they do.
Who doesn't want Aaron Jones or fucking
Aaron Rodgers?
Aaron Rodgers, I mean.
Aaron Jones.
Aaron Jones is great, though. He's great at throwing it.
Either one. Hey, look, either one.
Well, I mean, the other thing, the last thing I'll say about this is, and I'm not sure. I was done talking to them about it because it was like It was 3 of them that I was.
It was a 3-hour. It was a 3-hour.
Hey, how about you invite one of them on here so we can gang attack him?
I will.
Yeah.
And then So they were saying,
we'll gangbang him.
They were